hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of B Sharp and C with me, your host, Artie Astor. Yes, today is Wednesday, March 10th. You know, I was not going to do an episode of the podcast tonight because next Wednesday is when I do, with Gabe, is when I do song. We give each other our picks and we do our regular episode. I was not going to do an episode. And then I thought to myself, I'm feeling kind of down. I'm feeling a little stressed. Work's got me down, and I feel like it's therapeutic to talk about music. So I decided to do a podcast tonight, even though I'm kind of ill prepared. But don't let that get you down. This is going to be a great conversation, even though it is a one-way conversation. I want everyone to be sharp and see this artist. He's a contemporary musician. He's been around for a while. He has collaborated with some great people. He has had his music played on numerous TV shows. And in my opinion, I would say he's got two things that just really work for him. Great songwriting and a great voice. Now, he plays multiple instruments. He's very talented as a musician, but his songwriting capabilities and his vocal capabilities really stand out in his music. So who should we be sharp and see this week? Well, we need to be sharp and see Shane Alexander. Who is this guy? Well, he was born in California, but pretty much raised on the East Coast throughout the eastern to northeastern part of the United States. What's interesting, though, about him is that he's been performing and writing music for a long time. And he's been compared to certain folk singers of the past, Art Garfunkel and what have you. I personally would compare him, and I don't like making comparisons, but if you were to say, well, who does he sound like, Artie? I would be like, Gordon Lightfoot, Johnny Cash. There's a little bit of Neil Young mixed in there too, But what Shane Alexander produces, what he puts out is very crisp, and it's very well mixed. Whereas like a Neil Young, you can kind of tell, and of course the times were different when Neil Young had his heyday, so there was a little bit less emphasis on, I guess, having things perfected in the studio. Shane Alexander is a little bit different. He has that great talent, that excellent voice, that excellent songwriting, and he plays a plethora of instruments: piano, banjo, keyboard, guitar, And again, like I said, it's his vocals that stand out. It's his vocals that kind of hit you to the heart. Now, why do I think that we need to be sharp and see what this guy has done? Well, is he ever going to be mainstream? Probably not. I mean, I would like to see him be mainstream. I'd love to see this type of music actually be appreciated on a more popular level, I guess you could say. However, I understand how things work. Some of the best music out there is indie music, and though this guy isn't considered quote-unquote completely indie because he has signed with record labels and everything, he's still very much underrated, very much underappreciated. And this type of talent, this raw talent, he can just pick up a guitar, play almost flawlessly, and just captivate you with his voice. This type of talent is just not common nowadays. But even when it is out there, and he's out there, like you've probably already heard his music and you don't even know it. This guy is out there, okay? He's been on dozens of television shows. If you've seen the show Bones, Criminal Minds, Laguna Beach, The Real World, he has songs that have been played on these television shows, right? However, he's just not mainstream. And it's my job. I take it upon myself to kind of put these people up there a little bit on that pedestal so everyone can get a chance to listen to this guy. So he's been around for a long time. He's been doing a lot with his songwriting. But what does he sound like? Well, he's got a very smooth voice, but he's got like a hint of grit at times. And every now and then, I mean, he's kind of considered like contemporary folk, but he kind of like falls into like the dark country genre every now and then. Like if you listen to the song "I Will Die Alone," or feels like the end. These songs they have that feel to them that it's like dark country. You almost feel like you're listening to like Blues Saraceno, you know. Um, but what sets Shane Alexander aside is great songwriting and great vocals. Now, if you were to look up popular male vocalists, you're going to get like Niall Horan, Adam Levine, John Legend, Ed Sheeran, and they're all great vocalists. Shane Alexander is underrated. His songwriting style is very good, but not only is his songwriting good, put headphones on. Get yourself a good pair of headphones, put them on, and listen to the mix. Now, I don't know if he himself is involved in all the mixing. I do know he does producing and what have you. So he is involved in the production of his music. But as far as sitting there and deciding what instrument goes to what ear and how exactly you equalize the drum track or the bass line so that the bass line is is visible, but it allows maybe the piano to shine, things like that. I don't know if he's involved in all of that, but all I can tell you is that on top of good songwriting and excellent vocals, the mixing and the production of this music is just simply top notch. I actually like to listen to it with headphones on, and you can hear like the pedal steel guitar kind of just like waving through the song, but it's just perfectly mixed. So again, we need to B sharp in C. Shane Alexander, like I said, he's got a lot of Neil Young mixed with Johnny Cash and Gordon Lightfoot, you know. And he doesn't just write a song and say, "Okay, I have a song. I just played it on the guitar and sang it. I think we're good for the studio." Like once the song is written, you can tell that that's just one part of the process. But once the song and its the notes of the song, the lyrics, the chord changes, everything. Once that gets into the studio, it's almost like phase two now steps in. And the mix is part of I can because this is what I do. I can tell you right now the the mastering, the mixing and the producing of his songs is just as much as of an art as him sitting down and actually writing the song himself. Because anyone who plays guitar can say, okay, I have three chords. I'm going to play a couple chords and then we sing a line. A lot of people can actually write music, but music that gets produced, mixed, and released, and you put the headphones on, and it's just like it's like candy to your ears, right? It's like so sweet, and it releases endorphins in the brain. It's like eating ice cream at 10 o'clock at night, and you're just laying there on the couch, and every spoonful just releases endorphins into your your brain, right? So that's what this is like. It is very good music. Now, he's got a lot of music, and he touches on different genres, like I said. None of it is really heavy. I haven't really heard him do anything that's actually like heavy rock. But you put it on. If you go to Spotify and you just go to the Shane Alexander and you just hit play. Yes, it's good to have on in the background, but it's not. It's beyond background music. If you're into songwriting, if you're into how music is mixed and how music is put together, it's just every song you can just tell there's been a lot of work, a lot of effort, and a lot of thought to how each song is mixed. And then, like I said, he just hits gold. One of the simplest songs he's ever written, "I Will Die Alone." It's the guitar in the background is just really nice, and his vocals have it's actually kind of a heavy reverb, but the heavy reverb really fits the song, and it kind of pulls you in, and it can bring you to a dark place if you're feeling down, but but a comfortable dark place, if that makes sense. And if I'm not mistaken, either, gosh, you know what? The last time I listened to the song was yesterday. I actually believe there's a portion of the song where horns come in. It's almost like the second set of verses after the first chorus. I forget exactly. I don't think the song has a bridge. I'll have to go back and listen to it again, but I think that there's this musical interlude that kind of acts as a bridge and it has horns. It's just good mixing. The use of instruments, the way that it's put in the mix, everything's just really good. So that's my B sharp and C episode this week. I'm not gonna go crazy. I really think that if you, the listener, really want to hear some good music, if you like Gordon Lightfoot, I think you will really like Shane Alexander. So go out, listen to Shane Alexander. 4 songs: "I Will Die Alone," "Feels Like the End," "Shipwreck," "Homesick." If I'm not mistaken, that has like it's in a major key, but it has some pedal steel in it that is kind of eerie. But for a song that's in a major key, that's actually not easily done. But yes, please go out and listen to Shane Alexander. We should all be sharp and see what he's doing. A little something else too that I have to bring out. I don't know, but call me weird, but the music world is changing, and I think everyone pretty much knows the music world is changing. Folks, it's changing, okay? If you go into your car and you put on a radio station of contemporary music and just drive around, honestly, and this is just my humble opinion, 98.642% of what's going to be played on the radio is going to be the equivalent of musical compost. Okay? Seriously. You want to find good music today? You want to find new music? Don't hop in your car, put on a radio station, and drive around, smoking a cigarette or whatever, rolling down the window, turning up the volume so it can look cool to the girls in the car next to you. Whatever. I don't care. Here's the thing. That's not how you find good music nowadays. You want to know how you find good music? It's really freaking simple. You take your phone and you get Shazam ready on your phone. Just open up the application and then shut the phone. And then you go to Netflix and you start binge watching your favorite show. And every time you hear a song that sounds cool, Shazam it. Once the artist and the song name pops up, close the phone. And just keep doing that. Your Shazam history gets saved. Folks, listen to me. I promise you, I am not staring you wrong. If you like music of the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and you just miss, like, where's the Gordon Lightfoot of today? Where are the bands that used to just focus on the musicality of everything? Where is that? Because if you go in your car and you drive around and you put on the pop station, you're going to get crap. I'm telling you, some of that, I like some pop music. I even like some contemporary pop music. I love The Weeknd. A few of their songs I turn on and I jump around my office and I'm like loving it, Yes, you will hear a good song every now and then. The other 98% is musical compost, a steamy pile of melodic crap. That's what that is. You know what? And I'm doing them a favor by using the word melodic. Because the music that of today, when you go in your car and you put in a lot of that pop music or whatever that's playing today that's popular, melody isn't even a thing. People don't even focus on melodies anymore. You want to get good music, you throw on Netflix, you throw on Hulu. That's where I discovered Shane Alexander. I was watching the show Bones on Hulu, and I heard this song, and I was like, holy crap, what is this? I hit Shazam, and I just let it go. It wasn't until a couple days later that I went into my Shazam history and I started listening to all of my history, one song after the next. And then I came across, I think it was Shipwreck by Shane Alexander. And I was like, wow, this is songwriting. And then now I went down the rabbit hole and listened to his other stuff. It's great. It's excellent. So that's my advice to you, okay? That's what I'm telling you right now. March 10th, 2021, You want to find good music? Don't turn on the radio. Watch Netflix and Shazam every song that you like. Oh, and by the way, you're welcome, because that's the only way to find good music nowadays. All right. Well, that is the end of this episode of B Sharp and C. And I think that we should all B sharp and see Shane Alexander's excellent vocal ability, excellent songwriting. Until next time, I am your host, Artie Astor. Keep it real.
This road on nature ran just 'cause my soul does. I see you gun, oh, your smoking gun, and all the girls out there on the run, on the run. I did not tell you, baby, it was all in good fun. Oh, you want my mind, now you want my Danish wine. You got a piece of me, but now you want my Danish wine. But a sign up on the wall said it's time for me to be. Wild and down, wild and down. You know this road I need you at, just 'cause my soul